Life isn't always black and white. Somewhere in the grey lies the truth. Where perspectives collide and stories connect. Welcome to the Black, White and Grey podcast. Let's have a conversation.
We've got a conversation.
Go for it.
It's lucky, isn't it?
Nice.
So I was speaking to Brendan before the show, and we were thinking about how we get into just interesting reflections on stuff, and we're talking about authenticity. And part of authenticity is obviously where people come from. And I think there's such a bubbling conversation, which is very tense at the moment, about kind of where cultures are colliding. But then I thought, why don't we dive into kind of what traditions associated, it could be cultural or otherwise, that we hold on to that are really valuable to us, that we really enjoy, and you're just proud about where you've come from, and you go, I don't care where I end up in the world, I want to keep doing this. I love this about the culture or traditions or anything that's traditional for you.
Can I go first?
Wow.
Yeah, go for it.
I love
Wow.
dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Kizomba would be I don't care where I am. I could be in China, India, Africa. And I want to, and I like how commercialized it has become now. Because back in the days in the early 90s and 80s, no one knew about it. Now it's everywhere.
So what's the root of that?
Angolan dance, and we used to, but also combined with Cape Verdean sort of music, because we used to dance to Cape Verdean music in Angolan dance. And Angola used to invent for us on our side of the Portuguese colonialism they were the dancers, and they still are to us.
Can you explain what it is, as in like how I identify it if I came across it in a club or something?
Oh,
So sexy.
It's very sexy, very tight. It caused a lot of marriage dispute because it's so.
But it's not culturally accepted, so people don't go, this is how it is, so we
It
can
is, it
dance,
is.
but it still causes.
It is. So there's different forms of it. There's tarraxinha, which is very tight, and I've got a Jamaican friend that she always like that. You guys just have to be like this constantly. It's very tight, very. You can really
like
feel each
sensual?
other's. Yes.
it is. It's
Sensual
super
is a good.
sensual.
I think
Super sensual.
is a
Like you can
great
hear
word.
somebody's breathing in your neck, and
So
then
not sexual, but sensual.
sensual.
Is it like Latin-y, like, you know, when they're
Yeah.
It's a bit like it's like salsa, but very. It's like
Sensual
tame,
salsa.
small steps,
Yes.
small movements, but you're in sync at all times.
Yes.
It's like riding a bike.
The reason why I'm like trying to draw a distinction as well, because
Yeah.
people kind of go sexy dancing, controversy, like upsetting people, is I remember people showing me, daggering videos.
Daggering.
And they are.
You always go.
It's not like that.
So I was like, yeah,
No.
I need to just.
Well, to be fair, I mean, that's accepted somewhat
but it's,
in Jamaican music.
I never know.
Is it
whether it's
Jamaican or just Caribbean as a whole?
No,
Because
it's not Caribbean. It's definitely a
Jamaica.
bashment thing.
It's a bash. I was about to say it's
Jamaican.
bashment.
Really?
Remember soca? Soca's similar in the sense of
you whining, right?
the whining, like grip the hips and almost having sex while you're dancing with your clothes on. Soca's like that, but that's also accepted as well. I've seen couples just dance with other people, but they're still couples.
So Kizomba is less
Wild to me.
raunchy then. It's
Oh, it's
more
more sensual.
It's still
Sensual.
it's
Oh.
sensual.
Essential, which makes it more intimate,
It's
right?
more
It's
connected.
far more intimate.
I feel like it's somewhat worse.
It is worse. It is
than
worse.
what you're saying about daggering
worse.
or bashment. Like, I've been to a bashment rave, right?
Have you?
No, but that's it. It's entertainment.
Yeah, I
so
went
it's
to a
crazy.
bashment rave
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I was quite young.
Yeah.
And I've only ever been to one because I felt so out of my depth. I was like, this is crazy. It was like,
Why did you fall out of your depth?
I felt out of my depth when I went,
have
and
you
I
been
still
to
feel out of it now.
Have you been to bashment rave?
No. But
The videos were enough for
Did
you.
you dance? Did you dance?
just clicking.
Yeah, because I love dancing. But then, and
How'd
I
you
went
do
with a
that?
load of friends
you get
that would
daggered?
dance.
Did you get dagger?
Chuck him up.
Did you
That's
dagger?
why it was out of my depth. Yeah.
Did you dagger anybody?
Okay, let's not get into this conversation.
Someone on the internet, Brendan
Please-
jumping
please-
off
please tell
the
us.
top of a wheelie bit.
Takes off his top and he's like, ah!
Brendan, it's not like at a club. You got the wrong dance.
Wait, then pause. When you were moving,
I
the
did like
camera went off and on, but it's back on.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
But is it
Listen.
pointed the right way?
No, don't matter.
back
Don't
on.
matter.
It's
Don't
back
matter.
in. It's back in.
Okay. So but it has. You said with Portuguese influence as well. Has that changed it at all? Is it still very much an Angolan thing? But like,
It's still an Angolan
the Portuguese influence didn't change anything.
No, it was there is zero Portuguese influence. It's just basically
It's
the
very
countries
popular,
that spoke Portuguese that they do the same dance, so they've all learned from the Angolans.
So
that's cool.
But it has evolved because it has become commercialized. And in Poland, they're doing the dance now, and they're doing the dance in China, they're doing the dance in Japan, they're doing the dance. Like, it has become so good, like so commercialized that it's everywhere.
How do you feel about that? Because obviously, again, I think couched in the negative side of this conversation, people go, people are appropriating stuff and commercializing it and like spinning it out and stuff. Do you feel? It sounds like you feel proud that it's being shared rather than like protective that it's not like sovereign.
Absolutely. I think with any culture, like, I can't wait for my friends from South Asia to have a wedding so I can wear sari. So I'm very much open as us all sharing what we've got, our culture, and taking the best out of it without being, without disrespecting it, rather than appreciating the culture.
That's what I think. I think if somebody's authentically, like, they like the style of dancing or the music, whatever it is, and they're being authentic about it, it's fine. But if you're appropriating,
how do you define appropriation?
I was going to say,
yeah.
the appropriation, because you're doing it to be noticed. So you're doing it to fit in. You don't need to do anything to fit in.
Whereas if
Be
you really
yourself.
relate to...
Just be yourself. Like with music is one of those things that it speaks to your body.
Yeah,
it speaks to your rhythm. It speaks to your energy. It speaks to you. If it takes you, right? That's you being your true authentic self. I don't like rock, but if I go to a rock party and then put on all the clothes like it's a uniform and then start pretending I enjoy rock just to fit in,
then it's appropriation.
so it's appropriation. And if I consistently embody that,
that's what's so interesting, right, about some music artists like Lil Wayne opening up just a bit of that kind of rock energy just to see if it can transfer. And I guess with Beyonce doing the
country music,
it's like, I'm just going to take my essence and drag it.
Country's massive in the Caribbean.
Is it?
Yeah, country
In Portugal
music,
as well, we like country music.
country music is massive, but that all stems from slavery days.
So how does that leave the...
No, it's just one of those things that transcends generations, right? Because of the style of music that they probably heard growing up.
I don't think it's always taken badly, because I know that there's a huge community, not huge, but a small community in Japan that love Caribbean dancing. And if you Google it, like, I mean, videos after videos after videos after videos, it's great. And then Caribbean appreciate that. I think they actually dress like
a DJ gang that won a world DJ clash of Jamaican music. Bashment. There was a DJ group that won.
From Japan.
From Japan.
I think they were from Japan, yeah.
Japan absolutely is wild, isn't it? So how did they even get?
That's sick.
Yeah.
But I think Jamaicans appreciate the fact that it has spread all over the world, right? People listen to Bob Marley. I always listened to Bob Marley when I didn't know who Bob Marley was when I was a child.
Reggae though. So and that's the thing. There's a different style of the music through the music, right? So that's reggae, and again, Bob Marley's one style of reggae music, but then when you listen to roots or bashment or dancehall, it's gone even further. But it all stems from the origins.
I saw a black rock band last week, and it was very the 90s back in the days. I don't know if you recall like the 90s rock. You know, like...
But you're talking about American rock?
They American rock, like the 90s. Not like quite Nirvana sort of thing, but more...
Chili
Slasher
Peppers.
rock, like just...
one of the commercial rock that we used to listen to in the 90s, like soft. There were loads of like bands back in the days, like they were in the 90s.
Yeah.
They were teens, but playing rock.
because American rock back in the days was in the 90s.
I love the rock.
Also, it's a touch of that country feel to it as well. It had a touch of...
When you start playing a musical
When you
instrument,
say
you see the roots
CC's
of everything.
mama,
That's like punk rock though.
yeah, punk rock.
That's it.
There's a sort of punk rock sort of style, and I thought it was really quite nice. But
Stacey's mom.
Stacey's mama.
I
You like
love
that? You like that one? Yeah.
Doesn't it remind that movie? What's that movie? The teen movie, like
But that's the thing. It was also
the guy that was having sex with a pie. What's it called? American Pie.
American Pie.
Yeah, the whole point. The whole point of it.
having sex with a pie. No, but they utilised those sounds in those movies, which then makes it translate across the world as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It broadens the
Yeah.
horizon of our music air.
Just a quick one. Like, so I see that you've instantly, when we talk about culture, you've instantly gone to your Portuguese side,
Yes.
but not to your ethnic roots.
Yeah.
So do you relate far more to your Portuguese because your upbringing
Yeah.
than you do to your ethnic roots? 'Cause it was instant, right? You didn't even think about it.
That is so true.
Whereas if I talk about culture, I'm going to with this question, I'd probably talk about Chinese culture and not British.
Really?
Probably.
But I think you've met somebody that knows me as well, and we both
You're both more ingrained in the Portuguese culture.
Portuguese, because we were like, oh, you're Chinese. We're like, no, I'm Portuguese.
No, but you know
and
what?
literally,
I think it's different. I think it's
and I was like,
different though.
And I was like, oh, you're, you know, my friends were black here. They were like, but you're black. I was like, no, I'm Portuguese. It was like, I don't know why we were.
No, I think it's
it took me 20 years to sort of get to I am African before I'm Portuguese. Do you know what I mean?
It took you 20
you
years
know?
to get to that point.
Yeah, which is
But that's what I mean. It's
that's really
remember
strange,
your
isn't it?
first but your first language isn't English. So because your first language isn't English, that also creates that division in your brain as well.
As in
So when you're looking for
Pockets of it, isn't it? Like decades of your life will be defined by.
Portugal.
yeah, because you speak Portuguese.
I do.
So that's your first.
but
that's your base.
But the difference is like being African, right? First.
No,
and then,
but-
in which Brendan was like, oh, you don't go for the ethnic side.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Your identity will get attached to language first, right? Now,
That's it?
a lot of Caribbeans Caribbeans, they speak English. So it's easy for me as a Caribbean person being born in the UK to quickly identify with the Caribbean because it's just English. So I don't even have that barrier. Whereas you've got that barrier from
Can
the
I
off.
ask a question though?
Go for it.
So, and please iron me out.
I will iron you out.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So spoken dialect in terms of like the inflections and how the language is spoken in Caribbean islands, is that naturally very different? Because sometimes people obviously like Jamaican, they'll be like Jamaican spoken English, and it's notably different, obviously in terms of the words and yeah. So how do you straddle the division between like an association with that? Like I've got friends, for instance, who are Nigerian. Like some are British born and they just sound very British. Some obviously born in Nigeria, but they'll go back into their Nigerian accent when they speak the Nigerian.
So remember, Nigeria's also got languages.
They do
within the country, right? The Caribbeans, Jamaicans, the Caribbean islands generally don't unless it's Creole or French, right? So if you remove the Creole and French islands, the base is English anyway.
Yeah.
It's just broken English or the dialects are different, like speaking to someone who lives in Wales or Scotland. Because even Wales has its own accent.
And speak exactly how you would now with a very London accent.
What, in where, Jamaica?
Yeah.
I do. And then if I need to... If I'm speaking too fast, which they tend to think that we speak very fast in the UK, but most people do, like most people in other countries think that English people speak fast.
Which I understand, to be fair.
So you have to slow down anyway. And remember, there's a conversion process in listening to English and then saying it back to themselves in whatever language or dialect they're using, right? So to go to the Caribbean or Jamaica, I can speak to them in English and then they're like, what? And then I'll have to like shape the words so they can understand it.
Interesting.
But that's just having the knowledge and the experiences of sometimes people being ignorant.
I have a bit of a question for Ed. Okay, so
tradition,
like which do you just identify as being British?
No, it's a good question, but as in like you could go to the root of wherever the question is, right? As in like, because somebody could go, do you identify with being white? Do you identify with being British? Do you identify with being
English,
Australian, or depends which culture was most influenced?
What are you?
Well, having grown up in the UK, I spent a lot of time having people go, "Where are you from?"
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I guess
your look's different though.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Are you a little bit Spanish? Are you a little bit something?" Like there was a curiosity, and that's fine. That there's. I think that's a good thing. People trying to sort of triangulate something, but
it's because the country's really multicultural.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because in some ways, it's like, what do we want to get close to, and why? And as a kid, my dad used to work abroad a lot. And I felt like I wanted to get close to my dad. My dad's Australian.
Yeah,
I'm obviously not. I don't have Australian. I've not spent enough time there to kind of have any ownership over that. So. It was always never in one bucket. It always says like 70% English, British, whatever. Always like 30% like unknown, possibly Australian. And then I go there and see relatives and be like, I like this. I like the differences. I like the friendlier nature or whatever it was.
I like the
the
Humour.
outdoors spirit. Yeah, just bits and pieces. And
Yeah.
like they're fragments that exist elsewhere. I mean, my mum pushes the English thing very hard. So you either accept it or you reject it. But she's just very traditional.
Yeah,
and she's very comfortable in that tradition. My brother's quite traditional.
Good.
He's very comfortable in that tradition. And I think what's so interesting about this is you're right. Like there should be a generosity of multiculturalism where we try and bring the best of our intentions and origin stories and are allowed to have those origin stories. Now, of course, it's complicated, but.
With that in mind, what's your favourite part of the whichever culture you identify? Yeah, tradition.
Look, for me, I think you made a good point about like how we translate English across the world, and there's a lot more expressive languages and people who talk with more body language or more inflection. I think the wordplay in English is always something I've valued. So the kind of the root of we seem to have a heritage in lots of different words for different expressions, and that's kind of have a literary scene or a theatrical scene that's kind of come with it. So I think that's been a point of pride, and I think I like manners. I think generally trying to meet people on the front foot with some manners. Everybody can part ways, but as long as you're trying to connect on that value system, I do think it's important, and I do associate that with English politeness, and it doesn't necessarily translate that well to doing work with the Americans where they want to be more direct, but I would still try and maintain that. I would like to hold on to that, and I think, to me that's an important.
So a case of being sort of cautious and conscious of people's feelings, because I find the Portuguese to be very direct at times, and I had to learn here in the UK.
I've noticed that.
To be withhold, we have to really hold, and especially you, what you probably experienced from the Portuguese side, that is as direct as it can get.
Very like. I'll say my thoughts, and that's.
It's interesting directness, isn't it?
Yes,
it's not a bad thing, right? Like,
no.
As in, it's nice to know that you know exactly how that person feels.
But at the same time, it's very them-centric, right? It's like, I'm not doing any filtration because I feel a certain way about the world, and therefore you're going to get it.
It's not about the world, it's about you. It's very personal. But then sometimes what I've had to learn here, I guess being around British people mostly, which I've done, it has helped me to understand actually how is that person going to take that comment.
Choose your battles, right?
Yeah, and then...
Fuck that. Listen, I'm saying fuck that because...
No, you have not seen how direct we can be.
No, direct is direct, innit? And if it's the truth, it's the truth, innit? So if you don't like it, go do something.
But it's their truth.
It's
their truth at a period of time. Like, that's what I do.
Hang on a minute. So is it a truth?
Okay, so Michael, it would be a case of like, you look a bit fat, Last time I saw you were a bit skinny, you're a bit fat. What's going on with your skin? Oh, did you sleep enough? You're looking a bit older.
Michael does that to you, so...
He does that to me.
But that... ankles. No, but listen, that's a matter of opinion, which is slightly different.
It could be hurtful.
No, that's just a matter of opinion. So it's not so much a directness, it's just a matter of opinion. That should be controlled all day, every day, because at the end of the day, like, who cares what you think, innit? That's your opinion.
And you've got to be willing to accept the consequence. Like, if I'm just going to shoot my mouth off at you, you've done this.
Yes.
Like, if you want to punch me in the face, it's like, well, I've earned the right to be punched in the face because I won't interact with you on a reasonable set of terms.
That's true. But this is the thing. It's
okay.
People just feel like, oh, we are just direct. And I was thinking, well, what if someone was to do the same thing to you? Would you be able to take it in that level?
Probably not.
No, not at all.
Probably not. That's
you keep dishing out, and then suddenly, if someone reverts and say, like, actually, how about you? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I learned this here in the UK, because there you start to get grilled from primary school, like making fun of you and stuff. It's not considered bullying. It's considered humour.
To be fair.
It's really offensive. I guess, like, to a point, it's still...
I think British people are the same, though. They just pass it off as banter. But at the same time...
Yeah.
I don't think it's British. I think that's a very London thing.
You reckon?
Yeah, London
is brutal.
London's
sometimes.
brutal.
Yeah, man.
I've seen people come from the Midlands down to London and be like, whoa, like, you lot are different. You lot are just different. Like, so, because the communities is so fractured, and like Ed said, there's so much smaller pockets. It's easy to find a community group that you associate with, and they're your friends forever.
And you've also got a huge amount of creative freedom in the UK, in London, sorry, compared to the rest of the UK. Like, my friend came down from Manchester during Pride, and he was like, "Brother, this is not right."
Really? Why?
Because you get people walking around in gimp suits and stuff, right, as artistic expression during Pride and stuff, and like in very minimal clothing, which
women or men?
Both.
Okay.
What makes it not right though?
No, because
from his point of view.
From his point, he's like, there's kids here.
Fair enough.
He's like, why should they be seeing that?
But that's
at such a young age where people are literally
be exposed.
Yeah, he's like, this is not right for kids to be seeing this at like 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, it's not fair.
It's not fair because they've not chosen to see that, and it's well above where you would normally ever see it.
Then don't bring your child.
Interesting.
Right, but then, you know, if you don't know, again, if you're not...
Oh, you're saying you're just happy to be walking around London, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You're walking around London with your kids, going out for a nice meal at Hyde Park.
Yeah, you didn't know Pride was on that day.
Yeah, you didn't know Pride was on, and then you're like,
whoa.
My kids are seeing men in leather gimp suits.
Yeah.
And it's like... So, but then, again, that comes part of artistic expression within London and the freedom we have here to kind of do what you
that
want.
could be an UK thing, actually, to be fair.
How about you, Brendan? What sort of culture tradition that you really like? And
I like the family culture within Chinese tradition.
Oh, tell us more.
So in terms of like, there's a lot of things that are based on, so food, for example, right?
Good love.
Dinner time, you all go to the dinner table, you have your little bowl of rice and you have multiple dishes in the middle. It's a very community thing.
Yeah.
You chat about your day. You all talk around dinner and everyone's sharing food and just enjoying the time.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what happens that day, that is a constant, essentially. So when I was younger, all my aunties, all my uncles would end up at my grandma's house after work and we'd all sit down, like 12, 13 of us, and just sit there and eat dinner with all the partners and stuff.
That's what we do on Sundays in the Caribbean household.
Really?
All round to mums or...
Well, that's it. So,
and it's Sunday dinner and all the families come.
And that's the most amazing thing, right? So obviously for us, it was an everyday thing. It's harder now that everyone's moved away. But when I grew up, and I think traditionally within Chinese culture, that is just how it is, right? Your family will come together, eat food, talk, bond, no matter what's happened in your day.
It's almost like Christmas is every day for you guys when the family...
Yeah, which is nice. And obviously now that I've grown a bit older and to be honest, I am British, right? So that becomes less and less the older I get. And as I said, as people move around to different parts of the country. But growing up, that was a constant. And I was like, I loved that. And I also like, another part of the culture is like the focus on natural remedies. So like in Chinese culture, you don't really rely on medicine. My granddads both hate the hospital. They'll never go unless I force them to. Like, for example, when you're sick or you've got a bruise in Chinese culture, you roll a boiled egg on yourself. Like, that is the most random thing. And I'm like, and I don't know who thought of a boiled egg would be healing. But basically what happens is you roll the boiled egg on your, say, bruise, and you open it up, and it will say, and if it's got loads of dots on it, it's taken away a lot of the bad, they call it, and it's like energy, right?
Yeah.
So when you open it up, if it's smooth, it's not taking anything out. But then if the yolk has little dots on it, it means it's taken away some of that.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It works.
But what if
So
it was
it's
before?
real.
It's real because I used to do it as a kid. And my grandma would sit there, cut the white, open up, take a look at the yolk, and it would see loads of little tiny dots.
And then what happens?
And then that's like your healing process is starting. You just keep doing it. You're boiling hot. I used to be so hot, a boiling hot egg on your body, and I was like, I used to hate it, right? But then you think about it, and
how many eggs did you guys go through it? Like,
hang on a minute,
2-3 eggs.
So what do you do now then? You don't boil the egg no more.
It's been a while since I boiled an egg to rub on myself.
So now, I should hope so. No, but I'm saying, so at that point now, does the healing process, is it still the same? Does the actual egg trick work?
I think it does. I just think as I've grown older, I just don't do anything about it. I just let the bruise, I'll just sit there. Whereas when you're younger, your parents are like, well, let's get that healed up fast. Whereas now, I'm a bit like my gran. I just don't, if I'm ill, I'll just kind of like get over it. I'll just eventually be fine.
It's interesting.
Interesting.
But then,
so you almost lose the value of what you've been taught, which is there to benefit you.
Correct.
And you just fall into it.
But that's due to probably not so much cultural, like it's just carelessness, right? Or lack of...
Or being British.
Being British as well. Like, for example, we used to have something called titazao, which is essentially alcohol. It's like wine, and you rub that on your bruises. And I'll still do that, and it heals your bruises, for example.
Yeah, the rubbing alcohol. I know about that.
It's a bit like rubbing out. Yeah, it's similar to rubbing out, but it's not quite it's like
It's more like a
definitely
wine,
wine.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a big. It's quite pungent.
I
You can
think
really
I've
smell
seen it actually.
Yeah, so it's like that's the kind of stuff I love within the culture, and would like to carry forward. So
Medicine.
so like medicine and, as I said, family values. That's what I love about Chinese
Amazing.
culture.
How about you,
Go
Michael?
on, you, Mike.
It's got to be music.
Fair.
It's just got to be music, and that's even when you was touching on it. I'm like, well, there goes my answer. But it's music. It's definitely music. You can't beat, for me, the drums in Caribbean music, which stems from African music, and it's just drums. The drums will always take over your body.
So you instantly account your culture to your Caribbean background rather than British.
No.
Unlike Anna.
Which is really bizarre.
For starters,
Bizarre. Is it bizarre? It's probably. I
I was
don't
going
know.
to say, is that local? Obviously, it's localized to one specific country for your.
I'm Jamaican and Bajan, which is Barbados.
Okay.
So I'm
And can you set me out on this one as well? Because I loathe to like just lump it all into one category because it makes it sound like a cruise ship when I just go the Caribbean. And it's like how different do you find even the cultural sort of footprints of different countries?
The smaller islands, which is called the small islands, Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, all of those islands are pretty similar because their music, and this is probably the biggest division, their music is soca focused. So it's all soca music. Whereas Jamaica has created its own sound. And obviously Bob Marley, being the biggest artist internationally, has taken that music and made it a more global.
I think Vast Qatar would differ. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But yeah, no. So taking that sound and made it an international sound. So reggae or dancehall is now, it kind of separates Jamaica as its own island of its own. And really, if you go Jamaica and then you go to the smaller islands, you can see the difference like night and day anyway.
Really?
Like culturally, the Jamaicans are just wild. I love Jamaicans, but they're wild. But that's Jamaica.
And the small islands, not so much? More
Small
chilled,
islands are more chilled. So small islands, if you look at Africa as a continent, if I could divide it, you'd have Nigerians, which are like Jamaicans, loud, fast, all over the shop, doing what they want. And then you go to like Kenya, where everyone's chilled. That would be like the smaller islands. And
you can feel the weight of judgment sometimes between the two countries as
easily.
well.
It's night and day.
So you have instantly gone into your Caribbean roots rather than your British roots.
Yeah.
Where do you not identify as British more, as like compared to Anna, who instantly identifies as Portuguese?
Do you know what it is? Like I said, I think that Britain's made up of 4 countries, and within that, you've got Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. I didn't grow up with a lot of people from those countries where they had their traditional values enforced growing up. So it was more English more than anything else. But my parents are also first generation born in the Caribbean. So in that household where I spent most of the time growing up, I'm influenced by Caribbean music, eating Caribbean food. Then we go to parties, it's all Caribbean people, and that's it. So that's my roots.
But then we've had this conversation before as a 4. Would you identify as a Londoner? Because we've each said that I would identify as South London, and I'll be South London, South East London till I die, right?
Yeah.
So that means you don't identify as British such, but you still identify as
So
like...
but that's more coming from the teenage ages.
Yeah.
Where you're finding a sense of identity when you're meeting other people from other areas, right? So when you go down to, like I said, like in that conversation, if I go South London, I'm like, it's wild down there.
What's wild about it? I was there last night.
What's South?
What do you mean you live in
I was at
South?
Brixton Academy. That's South though. So you've got South East, South West and stuff.
You was in Brixton.
Yeah.
So
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So Brixton was doing what Brixton does.
that's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
That's what's wild about
Brixton
it.
was doing what
Exactly
Brixton
that.
does. There was like an XL bully off the chain. There were some guys like had a ski mask on, but he had no shirt on. He's going down the thing. Then there's other people just
What's
like
wild about it?
blazing. No. But what was wild, and it was pretty funny, was the whole of Mighty Hoopla Festival came into Brixton. I think there was an after party, so you had like the mix of people standing around.
Different cultures, right?
Yeah. And then people in like hot pants and cowboy hats, and I just like streaming through in thousands of them. And
That's nuts.
just like the rest of the Brixton mishmash.
You just answered your own question. There's no way that's normal.
Well,
That is wild.
It's energetic.
Man with a ski mask on and no top.
Yeah.
And then a dude with hot pants and another cowboy.
It was, but you know what? Actually, went to your point about music, and another thing I'd say I was proud of in British or English culture is I do think the 90s rave scene set a tone for some ways for the rest of the world. Starts going rave culture can be turned into something, and it came from jungle. Jungle came in the early 90s.
But here's the thing, right? I love that. Now here's the thing.
Yeah,
you're semi-right, but where does jungle stem from?
Of course, right? But then it all fused into like the London techno scene.
London technos, yeah.
And that's kind of where it came together. And that was a beautiful thing. And then it got into old school, it got into obviously drum and bass and stuff. But it's like, that's where I think those moments of fusion are kind of cool. And actually, I would say, you're right.
That's very British. That's when you say
Arches.
that's British culture.
Yeah.
Am I proud of that? 100%.
Yeah, because I do.
I know you are.
Oh, growing up British is, mate.
Do you know Left Field? That was who it was. It was Left Field anyway. But we went to this gig and I was like, they are popping off. And some of the DJs are quite old. Yeah.
No.
They're quite old now, but like, they're good. Because the people from the 90s are now old, but they're good DJs.
Yeah. But then I think back then when you're creating a scene, there was a lot more, when you create a scene, there's a lot more creativity, obviously, in your approach, which gives you the fundamentals of experimenting. So you're a bit more experimental. So when you do find it, you're the best.
Yeah.
It's almost like Wiley doing what Wiley does for grime.
100%.
How many grime artists are better than Wiley? And there's probably not many.
But so that's the interesting thing about kind of Caribbean roots as sort of fused into UK culture is, again, like our emergent rap scenes or like, as you say, like very specific Jamaican roots, UK artists, but have turned our rap scene into something that we're very proud of and that we export to the world. But I don't see that coming from like the rap scene in like purely in the Caribbean. It's like it's come here, it's muddied with that London culture or whatever it's chosen to like pick bits and bobs of, and then it's exported back out to the world as like a hybrid. Obviously, root stem goes back to the Caribbean.
So it goes, I think, and this kind of stems to a point that Anna made off camera. There's countries which enforce their culture on their people and give them a strength of belonging. So for Anna, in relation to why she doesn't identify outside of Portugal or being Portuguese.
I do now.
I'm saying
20
prior,
years, 20.
Yeah, prior. It was more, you're Portuguese, be Portuguese, Portugal's the best, we are Portuguese, Portuguese is everything.
But what creates what creates is like, you know, like sometimes there's an argument here in England that, you come to our country, you don't adopt, you don't sort of, you don't integrate to who we are. So I think when as soon as I got here, I was like, I'm going to integrate. My job is to learn English and speak like them, look like them, be like them, because that's what I've learned.
It's like a reptilian.
Who are they?
British,
Yeah.
the British.
What do they look like?
The humans.
You guys dress different to us in Portugal.
You guys.
Who's you?
Like, as in,
You ask.
as in all of you.
The aliens.
So pause right there. Check this, right? If you look at all three of us,
Yeah.
we're all different.
Yeah, you dress
But
different.
this is all British.
No, but you.
Well, it's
but
London, is it?
collectively, you all dress different to us. We've got a uniform. Like we dress like the chinos, the men, the chinos, the shoes,
Is that more
the shirt.
weather based? For example,
No, it's social demographics, and everyone wants to be looking
it's,
like in here.
it's
You
a
want to be
stereotypical like Scarface look, like that.
no, not like that.
Chinos.
That's not Latinos, but this is more like the American sort of Ralph Lauren sort of look. That is like the and all aspire to be. You know, people, they really disdain the same thing, and they really like the same things. There's a lack of people. If you're too creative or you're too different, you can instantly marginalized. Do you know what I mean?
Because you've got a lack of creative freedom.
So we all have a line that everyone wants to follow. And when I speak to my friends back home, you know, it's like, oh, you don't want to be seen as that. It doesn't matter what social demographic you are. There's something that we all align is just like how to behave yourself and how to eat properly on the table. My dad had a big deal of how to know how to utilize your knife and fork. And we were poor.
And I think that's what answers that question about the Caribbean music. It stays. It goes out and then it comes back to the
But I also appreciate that.
It's a lack of creative freedom and expression outside of that culture. So you kind of like, I know where I'm from and I love this, so therefore I'll create it for where I'm from. And I love that.
What, to bring home?
To bring home.
Because it's interesting when you see, and we talked about food a couple of times. Have you guys watched cooking shows? And somebody's thing will always be like, you can see it's like the 5-year-old in them going, when I was growing up and my mum would cook this and I was really interested in these ingredients and this memories. And it's like, it's nostalgia kind of being reborn and reinvigorated by an adult, basically. But then do you think that means we're all kind of set in stone before the age of 10 to like what we like and not like what we do like? Because I have to say, over the course of the last 38 years in the UK, and as it's changed and as the experiences I've had change, it always goes in a opening your brain up to new things, retracing back to what you are, opening back up again. And then I'd say it's been really enriching to take in little fragments of, like, as you say, mealtime should be better, it could be better. Music can be more fun. You can dance more and don't need to sort of do the English thing of drinking in the corner until you're drunk enough to
I can answer that loose.
Sorry, go for it.
I think that part of that might be down to losing identity in the process. So as you're growing up, you can find that people actually lose identity. So when they get to a certain block or stage, they want to relive that childhood element.
I agree with that, because in school, you care a lot more about being popular or fitting in, and not about standing out. Sometimes you don't want to stand out during your...
You get bullied, don't you?
Yeah, because you're different, right? So you then all mold into this cesspool of the same person, just as different. Like if you go to London, you see the kids' haircuts in a school. They've all got the same haircuts. They all kind of look the same. They
sound the same.
They all sound the same. And then you lose your identity during that process. And then you get to like uni time and you're like, actually, hold on. Maybe I do want to be
Or you get accepted for something weird that you do, which was yours. And it's like...
in the first place. And you're, hold on. I can double down on this. Yeah. Exactly that.
I can be me.
I can be
me.
There's something I really admire about the British culture. Us being here today from different backgrounds, from our parents, but the ability to sort of be able to cohabitate and co-live with people and accepting them as who they are.
I've got thoughts on that in terms of, I think, to be honest, I'd split it into two camps. I'd say those who genuinely believe that they're interested in people from different backgrounds and do culturally mesh. And I think there's some people who hat tip and probably live next door to a bunch of people from different cultures that they do not speak to. And it's like, actually, I'm in a convenient block of essentially my own, what I know. And there's not actually a curiosity. Like I kind of see this sometimes in Lewisham. It's like sometimes people are just like chatting to everybody. Sometimes people, it's like you're just cohabiting and there's these paper thin walls, but they're never really crossed. I think it's, and then I see like people who just are curious about the world, and some people who it's like,
this is me.
I get why.
I have one final question though, if we've got time.
Go for it.
If you guys were going to mandate something for English culture to pick up fragments of different cultural associations and reimagine what the UK could look like on like a 10 to 15 year basis to really make it work better, do you have any ideas of what that would look like?
I'm not getting into that.
Let's move into politics. Sort of. No, it's a
maybe
question.
it's unanswerable. Maybe it's not.
What do you think?
I'm happy to.
It could be more. It could be more. It could be.
I don't think I'm answering the question, but I think it's worth mentioning. I was talking to one of my colleagues, which probably will be one of our guests here one day. He stated, we are told when we watch TV in America, in Portugal, whatever country you are. I was spoke to a friend today. So how do you learn English? Because of the American movies and stuff. And then I'm thinking. Like he said, why can we not be more proud, he's English, to be English? Because we are we're so much better than the Americans. American people. I'm not saying anything.
You say you're so much better than the Americans. Is that what he said, or is that what you say?
No, he said that. I'm just quoting, just to clarify.
I said with all the delusion of an Englishman. Who
I could just chop that down and say, what has England produced?
No, but he said in a way that England was able. I'm going to say the Portuguese way, to discover so many countries.
No.
I'm going to say the Portuguese way.
Don't do that. England, the British Empire, went in and ransacked countries.
Colonized.
Raped and colonized. Let's just keep it real, because that's what it is.
Okay.
So what is there to be proud of? That?
But he's saying that we, like, such a tiny island.
Colonized the world.
Yes.
Well, that's something to be proud of. Tell him. Thank you.
Cheers, brother. Yeah.
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. But I wouldn't though.
It's true. You're welcome. But is it intractable on that core point alone? And it could be.
No, but that's in relation to an English man saying we should be proud of being English.
I think there's got to be a reboot of like, for instance, there's a landmass, right, with some people on it now, and it calls itself England, and most national borders I don't think are going to change a lot unless there's like an active war. So it's like a lot of settling down of, and also it's interesting, right, like a couple of 100 years ago it was all kingdoms and different stuff. So countries are actually a reasonably new concept, but like we want to be able to reimagine it. And you're right, like the ancestral roots, that's not going to fly. But in 100 years' time, it's like, how do we
then define
ourselves?
Yeah.
And it could be, I would be very proud for it to be, you know, how lucky would the UK be to have lots of bright people from around the world to come here anyway, pay tax dollars, infuse it with new lifeblood, but we all want to then collectively make that, or do we all want to collectively make that island win?
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think if you look at, I think you touched on some really good points. It's more about, okay, the past is the past, history is history.
We're here now.
As British / English, whatever you want to identify as, what are we creating moving forward?
I love that.
And then looking at the creativity of what we've created moving forward collectively and saying, we're proud of that.
And that's exciting, right? That's a vision that if we all invested into, but I understand there's like structural issues that will make people feel like, yes, I'm trying to invest into that, but I'm hitting a ceiling because it's made by like an institution that, again, fucked us over 200 years ago. But it's just interesting, and I don't think it's for an English person to necessarily fully define that. It's a broader consensus.
I think, okay, coming from a country where we were indoctrinated to feel and be that country, I think they were looking objectively. You can look at something really negative and still to extract something positive out of it. And I think that's what he's done. It's like we were able intelligently to do something. I guess the methods are questionable. No, the methods are questionable, and it's something that people feel embarrassed of. But they managed to take over Australia to all the way to
I think the point as well that's overlooked is it's one thing that slightly pisses me off when there's like almost like the projection of a monolith of white culture, right? Like I don't know many people from certain Eastern European countries. I really don't. And so the idea that we just break bread and I go, hey, do you want to talk about like, you know, being Northwestern European or something? Like, that doesn't happen because on some level there was a lot of war ravaging through Europe. I mean, you only had to look at the film Napoleon, and it's like your neighbour is literally at war with you, and then Russia was sort of on our side, and then it's like just war. Yeah. And there was a time where it was the War of the Roses. It was literally like, you know, the two territories up in the north of England at war. And I don't know if people do the finest representation of themselves in a constant warring environment. And just because they advantage seek, because let's say they become technologically very good at war, then spreading warmongering is not good. But those are wounds and scars that go back like 2,000 years from when the Romans invest.
Yeah, and there's a certain thing to say of like, the past is the past, the future is the future, right? Like you can't dwell on it too long. My grandparents, they experienced war within Japan. Doesn't mean they don't go to Japan now and enjoy the shopping. Like the Japanese,
those wars were deep, right?
They were really deep.
They were really,
so, like, don't get me wrong, there's
China, right? Like
it was like 50. Wasn't it 50 years ago, 60 years ago?
Yeah,
it wasn't that long.
It's not that long.
It wasn't that long.
A lot of Chinese still don't like the Japanese, and a lot of the Japanese still don't like the Chinese. But it doesn't mean you stop adopting culture. It doesn't like doesn't mean I don't like sushi. Doesn't mean I don't love udon noodles. Doesn't mean that you don't love. I love anime.
Well, it depends, innit, how true you are to your origins. Because if you've got family members that died in that war, then you're going to be very one-sided and be bitter and.
You say that my granddad saw his parents get tortured.
Not everyone. I'm saying some people.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it is. Don't get me wrong. It's whatever happened was horrible.
Did you forgive them?
Well, that's my mum. He doesn't leave Hong Kong, so he, you know.
But that's a good question, because he might get on with it, but he might not forgive.
He may not have forgiven.
Yeah, so there's so many elements.
Because seeing your parents being tortured.
But through grandparents, right? If you take your grandparents, however old they are, you know, you're saying turning 88, right?
88,
and you say that they knew their grandparents. So let's say their grandparents were 88. It's like you're talking about a span right there of 166 years of like a cultural chain, which goes back a long way. Yeah.
He's very good at maths. Very good at maths.
But it's like that actually gives rise to the idea that when people go and move on, it's like I know grandparents who were affected by it, and they were still able to reference a point way before them where these things were actually still pretty relevant.
So the generational teachings just filter down, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm not quite good at maths. It's 176, but it's all right.
Yeah. Better maths. Better maths.
Sharp. You was doing it quietly though.
Yeah, I was doing it quite.
100%.
I was like,
yeah, it's not
that
right.
doesn't sound right to me.
That doesn't sound right.
But then I didn't want to open my mouth until I got it right, so then just a last quick fire question.
Yeah.
Before quick fire.
One word answers or
Like very short answers, right?
Go on.
So, what is a big misconception people have about your culture, and what's a stereotype that's pretty true about your culture?
I've got one. I've got a fantastic one for for Jamaicans. We're not all baby fathers that leave that leave the household and break households. That's the first one. And the other one for London, UK culture is not all black people are thieves.
Fair.
Yeah, we're brutal.
But then, okay, so
that's a great start.
Because I've been in places and I'm walking around and you could have a woman just clutching her handbag like, bro, down.
Relax.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing a hood. It doesn't mean I
just like hoodies. I'm just comfy.
That is bloody comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like, relax.
But then that comes into the
some of us are educated.
So you're saying that
not all
Caribbeans are baby fathers,
baby daddies.
Baby daddies leave their multiple baby moms, and then second is that no black people,
mothers,
no all black people. So no black people are thieves.
Yeah.
So what are the good ones? What's the problem?
No, I'm just saying. But that's much. I'm just chopping it up.
And therefore, is there stereotypes that are true about your culture that you're like, actually, that's come from somewhere, and I get it.
Yeah, we're very athletic.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Fair play. Usain Bolt's picked up a few gold medals, so cannot argue with that.
That's my answer.
Okay, cool. Anna's in the middle of doing her hair. Let's use Edward.
I think Britain has a fair amount of repression in its culture still to overcome. A lot of sweeping stuff under the carpet, which I think we're eking out of our system, sort of one disgruntled sort of noise at a time. A good thing?
Not necessarily a good thing, just...
well, you said something that's true.
Yeah, or something that's, as I said, not true, so...
Something that's not true, that... There's lots of things that are not true, aren't there? I mean, but...
About us, yeah.
The moment you're stuck, there's a massive problem.
The all British people have like bad teeth. That seems to be the American.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Americans really do.
And everyone says bottled water.
Bottle of water.
I get roasted about that everywhere I go in the world.
Bottle of water.
Everyone goes, bottled water. You want bottled water?
Cup of tea? Do we all just drink tea in England?
You love tea.
I do love tea.
He likes like Chinese tea though.
Chinese tea.
Cultural appropriation.
Fair.
Anna, you had one in the chamber. I think on mine. And who are you asking? Who are you answering?
Yeah, I'm thinking about Portugal.
Fine.
Yeah, that's
I didn't think about Africa. Like I'm just like Portugal. I know nothing about Africa. I've never been.
That's his point.
I've never been. So Portugal.
So misconception and stereotype that's true.
Stereotype that is true.
And does it change if you're Portuguese black?
So it does. There
you go. Stick with that one.
So What are the stereotypes you guys have about Portugal? I honestly
I don't have any. That's why you're here to answer that.
You're the tour guide.
Yeah, you're the Portuguese talker.
And you're the first Portuguese I've met in my life.
Really?
No, I'm joking. I'm that.
I'll throw out a negative stereotype for you to bat back.
Yeah.
Fiery.
No, that's
true.
What do you mean? That's a true one. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So there you go.
Yeah, we are very
The
fiery.
Spanish are better than the Portuguese.
Oh.
What? Football? Football? What are you saying?
I would say that is true. We just have to accept that they are slightly more developed in certain things. But yeah, that fiery is true. It's true.
That's a true stereotype. And then what's
it's
the
true.
misconception?
Uh,
Are there any?
Mate, I've got
I don't think
one.
they're in.
Based on 2 holidays to Portugal last year, that the weather was good. Weather was terrible.
When did you go?
Anna's going to disagree with you straight away.
yeah, the weather is good.
Yeah, we
The
got
weather
hit
is
twice
good.
with 4 days of grey weather.
And he went May and June as well. So June, you would say it should be.
It should definitely be. It's hot in Portugal for March.
You know what, though? I went in September and the weather was great.
I went in
weather
June
is-
last year and it was
October,
fantastic.
the weather is
October's fine.
fantastic.
I went in the back end of June and it was fantastic.
Yeah, we didn't.
You
Well,
just
that's
got
good.
unlucky.
got unlucky. Really unlucky.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that's the British weather following you.
How about you, Brendan?
I don't eat cats and dogs. I'll put it out there.
You don't?
And then
Stereotype that's true. We
All
are
Chinese
all
people are
pretty
small.
good. Like we all play music instruments and do maths. Like
Karaoke.
karaoke. Yeah.
no.
No,
yeah,
I think
karaoke's massive,
you're.
But
I spoke to a parent in an ICT group yesterday, and he was talking about his child, and he's like,
they all-
made the swim, made do maths, made
Yeah.
play piano.
you piano. You're just a piano player as a Chinese person.
Oh,
You
wow.
have to play piano,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be good at maths, even if you're not originally good at maths. It's just a thing. Chinese people. Okay, not talking all Chinese people, but stereotypically,
Yeah.
and in a general basis, consensus, if you go to a school, I'm pretty sure most of the Chinese kids can be good at maths. Not so
why-
good at English.
that's
We're
why
all
you got-
bad at English.
That's why you got Ed's numbers correct.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
Whereas our English, all of my friends I know, male Chinese, maybe use men more in general, but we are all bad at English. As in English lit and language for education purposes. But we're all good at math.
What is bad? Like A?
Yeah. I've got an A.
Oh God,
It's bad.
It's terrible
It's my worst subject.
because everything else is A star.
Well, you know, B means. Oh, actually, no, I better not say that. But
B for beating.
oh no, when you were like a kid, we used to take the piss and be like,
Beatings.
Beating. That make a good
brings back
podcast.
memes.
Trauma.
I think. I think. Do you think it's just a?
Excuse me.
It's something that we bought from. It has to be rooted from Africa, right? Because
What, beating?
yeah, because all my black friends got.
All Chinese.
Actually, other than
people-
I got
one.
beaten growing up. It's
Did you?
How was your beatings?
Yeah. How was yours?
wooden spoon.
Oh, yeah, that's similar
I
to
got
mine.
proper,
Did
like,
you have to go and get the wooden spoon that you're going to get beat with?
yeah, sometimes.
Mum got the.
Imagine being
got
told
belt.
to go and get the instrument.
Put your hand out.
You're going to be
Put your hand out, and you don't get away with it. You just.
But that was also in a lot of schools in the 70s.
Yeah.
No,
it
that
became-
grew for a lot longer. It stayed for a while.
No, but I'm
These
saying
schools,
that
yeah.
then got cut out between the mid 80s
Capital.
in schools.
Yeah, correct.
No.
I would never
In the
got-
There's a
UK.
head teacher that was actually
He tried to bring it back though.
Actually,
went to prison. Was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Went to prison 2 weeks ago in
No,
the
but he
private
tried to
school.
bring it back.
He was doing it to the kids recently.
But I love
Yeah, that's what I'm
that.
saying.
I love
He's trying to bring it-
arrogance of someone who thought he was going to get away with that in 2025. It's like, how long are you going to just?
No, he didn't give a shit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Zero fucks.
My school, my rules.
Anyway, if you liked that episode, please like, share, and subscribe so we can keep making more content for you guys because we're loving it and hope you are too.
Okay.
Okay.